Hey guys, so I'm gonna beat a dead horse and talk about CPOCs, Creepypasta OCs. I made an outline, not a script, but I may go off track, so I apologize. I guess we're gonna start off with design. And from design, we start off with their appearance. This may tie in some with age and gender things. Why are they all wearing the same things? We see a lot of hoodies, lots of skinny jeans, lots of skirts, and we're either over the top or we're bland, not even casual with clothing. And then there's always a mask. I don't care if you do a mask, give reason to the mask. Make it have something to do with why they snap. Make it have something to do with why they wear it. Give it either significance in their life or significance in their killings. Don't randomly just give them a mask because you want them to look creepy. And then why are we always wearing the same thing? Hoodies and skinny jeans or jackets. And they're either really dark in color or you're wearing these over-the-top colorful costumes. Unless there's a reason for it, some scarring or something, don't dress them like this. I don't care if you do casual. I don't care if you do hoodies or jackets. But chances are, once in a while, you're going to find a brand name on those. You can do different colors, designs on them. Why is it always the same? And why are we always dressed like it's fall? You don't need to wear that. You can do a short sleeve shirt and shorts. You can do shorts and a hoodie. For all I care, a lot of people do that. I know, because during winter, a lot of people get cold from their torso, arms and stuff, and above, but their legs are usually pretty warm. You don't have to dress the same way with all of them. You don't have to act like it's the middle of fall. You can put your character, if you want to put your character in a skirt, fine, put them in a skirt. Don't put them in a pencil skirt. You're not running in that. You're not doing too well in skinny jeans either, unless they're a little big on you, because skinny jeans, especially super skinny jeans, are really tight, and you're not going to get away with that. If you want to do a skirt, fine, do a longer flowy skirt so they can actually move in it. If you have a flowy skirt, okay, it's easier to move in. Longer skirt, okay, they can move and you're not going to see up the skirt. You can dress your character up if you want. For female characters, you can dress them more feminine. You can put them in dresses if you want. You can put them in crop tops and stuff. Let's face it, that's the way the world dresses now. You want them to dress casual, okay, but do something different. Stop going over the top unless there's a reason. Don't make them extremely bland. And let's talk about hair. Oh, hair. Hair. Let's just shave everyone's head. I've never seen a bald Creepypasta OC besides one my own. That's an dot I earned by making a story. I didn't buy her, I earned her by making a story. She is literally the only bald Creepypasta OC I have ever seen. She's bald because she had cancer, yeah, but you don't need to do that. You can have a bald character, guys. Unless you guys are afraid of bald people. That's kind of weird. I guess my OC is horrifying to you. And then why is it always cut so it's like everyone describes it as the emo hairstyle? Oh, yay, why? Why is it always? It's not as common as people think. You see it a lot on social media, but if you go around in daily life, I've seen probably only 2 or 3 people who actually have their hair like that and actually pull it off really well. And why does it always have to be black or blood red with random splashes of dye in it? First off, black is a rare hair color for Caucasians or people of European descent. It's not common. You're not going to see it that often. That's what a lot of characters are. which is another thing I want to complain about, but I'm not going to, because I guess it's okay as long as you're doing something different. Why is their hair black? Why is it dyed black? And I swear if you say burned black, no, that doesn't happen. The only story I have ever heard that could get away with something being burnt and turning black was the story of the White Crow, because it was an old Native American legend, and part of what they believe in, so fine, that's okay, but that doesn't happen with hair. You aren't the White Crow, guys. Your characters aren't the White Crow. Their hair does not need to be black. Their hair does not need to be blood red. Why are they dyeing it blood red? It's not going to magically be that color, especially with most of these characters being human. It's not going to be blood red unless they dye it that way. And I'll tell you what, blood red hair and black hair isn't that scary. There's so many colors. And then blonde is another common one. And you're getting either bleach blonde or like a sunshine yellow blonde, and it's not explained why. Blonde hair is a pretty common color, but you're not getting all the shades of blonde. There's no. What about dirty blonde or dark blonde? There's so many shades to it. And then try to give. And if you have to, if your character does dye their hair or something, give a reason behind it. Like, I know one of my characters, her hair becomes blonde in one form, but that's because she's supposed to fit and match up with the Europeans in the area. Don't ask me what that sound was. I have no clue. And that's why her hair is a very light shade of blonde. Give reason to it. Maybe you have it. It has to do with their genes and background, where they come from. It's very common to have blonde hair. Do something like that if you want to. Just give reason to it, and don't randomly dye the hair. Don't have the same haircut. Jeez, why is it always the same? Your character can be bald. Your character can have short hair. Short hair may be better for some characters. Your character, it's very unlikely. It's usually people have it just past their shoulders to halfway down their back. You can have a character with extremely long hair. Of course, give a reason to why they have extremely long hair. But it's not things people do that often, and it's always the same. And then this guy's a marks. This is usually your character's either flawless or covered in a ridiculous amount of scars. You usually have those, oh, look at that, we have the Jeff smile, oh, that's so original. Or you're covered in stitches. Why? Or carvings from other characters, which I'm going to cover later on too. Why? Why are they covered in this stuff? Just with so many of them, it makes no sense. Of course you're going to have little scars and marks from growing up. That's life. I barely have one on my knee, and I don't have that many. I have one in the palm of my hand because I have long nails, and I tend to grip my hands very tight when I write, and I've made it bleed a few times. I had scars from fighting my sister, just small nail marks that are forever there, because some reason scarred. Give little scars like that, but you don't have to go over the top. And why are characters even carving into them? It's just weird. That's weird. You don't need to have all these scars and markings. And another thing with appearance and stuff, it's always the same. You've done something to the eyes. It's always putting to the eyes, whether they have none, or it's suddenly black with a red pupil, which I would like to explain to you why reason our pupils are black. It is a hole in our eye. If your pupil is red, you are not seeing because light is not going through that. Pupil is a hole for things to go through. Your iris is the colored part. Your iris is actually the muscle that moves and makes your pupil bigger or smaller. Make that natural color too. There are so many colors out there. I know I'm being a hypocrite with this, but you don't have to always make it blue or green. I do it because I know so many people, it's ridiculous, with eyes that are blue and green. I know so many people, it's just ridiculous. I try to do brown and hazel, and I'll do a mix of colors, I'll do different shades of it, but everyone's like, it's the same blue. Why? One of my characters is Icy Blue Eyes. Icy Blue Eyes are extremely rare to get an actual shade of Icy Blue, but she has a reason why they're Icy Blue. Give a reason why, if you want your character to have certain rare color of eyes. Green is actually, it's supposed to be rare, but usually mixed in with other colors. Green can be pretty common, such as with hazel eyes or eyes that are blue with green in them. You can do that, just give reason, and don't suddenly make their eyes change color. Okay, if they're born with natural green eyes will change based on season, mood, and the clothes you're wearing. My eyes are blue-green. My eyes do that. My eyes change a lot. My eyes take on a lot of colors based on what I'm wearing and stuff. You can do that with your character, but try to be more unique. Like this one person, I love what they're doing with their character. They gave them yellow eyes. Most people think, oh, yellow doesn't happen. Well, no, not bright sunshine yellow like you see in Panthers and stuff, like that really bright, ridiculous yellow. But there are calmer yellows that are actually eye colors. Why don't you do that? That eye color actually looks really well with certain hair colors too. Like you could try new things like auburn or cherry red instead of red, blood red, fire truck red. And then we're gonna talk about the body type. Okay, I admit you're not gonna get a lot of endomorphs. They're not gonna be as active. They're not gonna have as much strength to them. Endomorphs are not going to work as well as scary creatures, but you can do that some. It's okay to make a chubby character. I tend to make my characters between two types of endomorph and ectomorph, or ectomorph and mesomorph, or just mesomorph. Why are there not more characters that are mesomorphs? Mesomorphs build up a lot of muscle, and people are like, oh my god, that means they're like bulky body build. No, they're not. I had a gym teacher who was a mesomorph, and she was not some bulky, she wasn't disgustingly over muscled. She was actually really pretty. You don't have to make your character an ectomorph, because let's face it, ectomorphs aren't that strong. If you want to mix ectomorph with something else, okay, but stop making strength the strong point for your ectomorph. And they don't have to be an ectomorph. And you know what? They don't even have to be human. Again, I'm going to cover that more later on with that. But they don't have to be human. And that's another big thing with it. Everyone's like, oh my god, they're human, or they're these creatures that were once, why are they suddenly monsters? They were once human without lab experience and stuff. It makes no sense. They don't have to be human. They can look a lot like a human, and they can have human forms, but it's overdone that we always have all these crazy human killers with no reason behind them. Like, I have a character that's human, but it's kind of scary how she goes crazy. I have a character who's kind of human, but again, she has like this scary feature to her. You don't have to make your character 100% human, and you don't have to make it 100% monster. You can have a creature with human form. It doesn't always have to be beautiful. It could have a beautiful form. I have one creature that, because it's a harpy, harpies are temptress, so she has this ridiculously beautiful form of this 24-year-old young woman, but then she turns into this horrifying ancient creature that's not close to human. You don't have to make them human. Now we can talk about age and gender and stuff. So, I'll admit, this is a very open thing. There's a lot of characters in here that are, with gender, it's pretty good. I mean, females are hated, but females, they shouldn't be, as long as you build the character right, have right strengths to them. But and you still see some that are like gender fluid, transgender, so it's not a closed community with gender. And age is usually the biggest problem. If you are making a character under the age of 16, let's say, they're not going to be super strong. They're not going to be overpowering a lot of people. They're not going to be overpowering anyone. These people do happen. They do happen to be serial killers, and if they happen to be little monsters that have... Now, this doesn't count with monsters that don't follow human age system. This counts for creatures that follow more of a human age system with them. They should be more tricky. They should do these sneakier things and play an innocent act. Like, say you want to do a little 7-year-old. Do a 7-year-old and have it like his grandpa suddenly dies and they don't know why. Well, guess what? He made it seem like an accident by turning off his grandpa's oxygen supply. It's not like his grandpa can do anything. He's not in a healthy enough state. Do something like that. Don't make them overpowerful. Make them poison people. Make them sneak up and kill them quickly. Do not throw them into a bunch of fights. It's not necessary. This is similar with the 16 to 20 group too. They're not overpowering a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people you can overpower in that age. By that age, you are stronger. You are going to tend to overpower a few people. Again, this is more with mesomorphs than ectomorphs. You do not need to just make skinny little twig people. But still, you don't have to... They're still young, and they're still learning. I hate how these characters instantly seem to know how to do things. It's like... No, you can't do that. Give them background. Give them reason to this. Like, have they been training in fighting? Have they been training with weapons? Have they had assistance or someone guiding them? They should probably be pretty weak at this point unless they started at a young age, like 7. They shouldn't really be good at fighting all that much. And then when you get to older characters, it's okay to do older characters. There are weaknesses to older characters, there are strengths to older characters. From the age to 20 to 40, you're going to have, maybe 50 depending on how well they care for themselves, you're going to have this strong person, more overpowering, more intelligent, and then past that point, you're getting these wiser people that know how to do better, know better. They have the experience behind them, and if they are a little weaker, it still makes sense. And then with creatures that don't follow the human aging system, when you have these monsters and demon stuff, especially when you get to the older ones, this is where you're allowed to take some space and step over those boundaries and be a little overpowered. So it's great to do older characters in that sense. If you're doing a character that's a few hundreds or even thousands of years old, guess what? You get to step the bounds a little, because this is giving you the free space to make a kind of overpowered character. I hate with the limitations. It can't be overpowered. So many horror movies and books have an overpowered character with 1 or 2 small weaknesses that don't even really kill it or anything. Just hold it off for a long period of time until someone else messes up. You can do this with older characters that aren't human. Holy cow, that's fun. Look at that. And then they need to be able to die if they are human. Let's go into personality. Oh, this one's gonna be the funnest. Why are they all the same? Why? They're these bad a-holes that can do all they want. They're these bad A's that can do whatever they want. I apologize, I'm not big on cursing. They're misunderstood. Why? Why do they always have to be like this? Why is it that their only likes and dislikes are blood and murder and seeing certain types of people? Why? Why is there not more to them? These are people. They have more to them. They should have some contradictions. I hate that people do this. They make a character and give it absolutely no contradictions. Guess what? There's a lot of contradictions in life. I'm shy, I have social anxiety, and I'm an introvert, but you know what? I love talking if it's a deep conversation. I'll talk to complete and utter strangers and feel perfectly comfortable with it if it's a deep conversation about something I really love, like certain sciences and stuff. There are contradictions in people. Now, don't go crazy with these contradictions, but give some to them. You need contradictions to build a character. You need more likes and dislikes, even small silly things. Like, you should be able to list forever likes and dislikes and things they're okay with and stuff. just as you can with a normal human, but still you should build up a normal list of stuff, like do they like reading, do they hate reading, do they like colors, what's their favorite food, what's their least favorite food. Do stuff like that. Why aren't you doing that? Do they not like wearing scarves or maybe turtlenecks or stuff? Do things that seem so stupid and pointless, because they make it seem like you have, like it's a real person. If it's demon stuff, you can still do things they like and dislike. That's like, that still still seems weird for them to like and stuff. Like, if it's a demon, do they like what do they like? They're probably going to be more about a time before humans too, if you're going to do stuff like that. What do they like about that? It changes how they feel about. Do something like that, and maybe possibly explain. Just do more likes and dislikes, even if they seem pointless. And not everyone is smart. I hate this. Every one of these killers are apparently extremely intelligent, when most of them don't seem that way. Well, yes, lots and lots and lots of serial killers need to be intelligent. That's how they get away with it. But you can have a not-so-smart character that's completely and utterly a disorganized killer and is getting away from pure luck, or because their crimes are so disorganized the cops just can't figure it out. Your character does not always have to be smart. I admit, I make smart characters. Yeah, I can't help it, though. As terrible as it makes me sound, I can't picture anyone being duller than me. I can only imagine people who are smarter than me or equivalent to me. I don't think I'm that smart, which is saying something, because I'm in GT and AP classes, top of my class. But I don't feel like I'm smart at all, and I have been told I have decent common sense, which smarter people usually don't have, according to my mother. But in my mind, people always have, like, this, they have to have this certain intelligence, they have to be smart, I think I'm actually average intelligence, and I just put my effort into my schoolwork. I think a lot of characters are not smart. I mean, I've run into people who don't know what magnetism is, even to this day. And even now in high school, I know people that don't know what magnetism is. Doesn't understand, or they don't, or how, I feel bad for that person. I also know people who don't know what magnification is, how to making things bigger or attract. They don't get those things. Not everyone is smart. Some serial killers are completely and utterly disorganized, but hey, sometimes the disorganized works. Now, if you're having some ancient creatures, they're probably gonna be smart just because they've been around long enough and seen enough to do it. But if you're having a creature that's like relatively new, coming from the middle of the woods, doesn't understand a single thing human-wise, then they're not gonna be smart to us. Your character doesn't have to be overly smart to get away with things. Stop making them always smart. Now, if you're like me, and you just can't imagine people not knowing certain things, then, yeah, you're probably going to have to make your character smart, just can't. I admit, I do that with most of my characters. I am trying to make a character that isn't too smart, but he's more street smart. I mean, yeah, there's always one way, everyone's smart at something. But you can't make your character and just say, well, they're extremely intelligent. How are they extremely intelligent? What are they extremely intelligent? Why are all of your characters extremely intelligent in everything? Like, one of my characters is an average in everything but one subject. Why can't you do stuff like that? Make them below average in some things with some characters if you can do that. Your character does not have to be smart in every way. Of course they're gonna have something they're gonna have. Of course there's gonna be something that they're a complete and utter genius at. But they're not gonna be a genius at everything. Now we can talk about disorders. These are my favorite. Why does your character have so many disorders? Why do they have so many disorders? Why does every character have to be bipolar, schizophrenic? So you know most have schizophrenia. Do you know most schizophrenics aren't violent people? It is not in their nature to be violent. they just can't grasp reality. Why do your characters have to be schizophrenic or bipolar or depressed? Literally everyone is depressed. Why? I know depression is common, but it's not going to make you a serial killer. And then there's always something wrong. And I get it, everyone has something wrong with them. Not everyone has a disorder, but a lot of people do. Some people are usually pretty fine with it, but why is it always the same disorders? You're looking at people who are bipolar, schizophrenic, psychopaths, which aren't even proper psychopaths because they still have a full range of emotions. Psychopaths have, their emotions are very limited. Same with sociopaths. Psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made. So why is it that why do every character have to be one of these things? Or they have multiple personality disorder. Oh my god, I have seen so many with multiple personality disorder, and there's no explanation to it, when most of these diseases are either genetic or develop in life, which I will cover in backstories some. Or they'll have something ridiculous wrong with them, like they're born without all limbs and yet somehow function like a normal person with these limbs that magically work. What? You just can't do that. You can't have... Your character doesn't need a billion disorders. Your character doesn't need one disorder, really, when it comes down to it. Your character doesn't need to have anything wrong with them. It might make them a little unique. In that sense, because disorders are so overdone. You don't need to pile them on there. It doesn't make your character special. Now, if there's a reason you're doing a disorder, like I like to throw in... I have characters who don't have disorders. I have characters who do. I have one who has misophonia. I have one who has anxiety. Which, the one that has anxiety is based off of a lot of people in my life, and is... I actually combined her with a whole bunch of people from my life, so that's from some of me and a few of my friends there. But, see, there's reason behind it. I did misophonia on one of my characters because my mother has misophonia. You have to give reason for disorders. And why they mean something to you. Okay, do a disorder with your character, but you don't have to do a disorder with every character. And this also has to go with things like... I lost my train of thought. But you don't need to put so many disorders in there. And then the abilities. Why does your character have so many abilities? Oh my gosh. As I said, if you're going to do some ancient creature, okay, give it quite a few abilities. That's perfectly fine. But if you have someone who was originally a human or something, don't give them abilities. It's ridiculous. And limit them. I hate seeing all these characters where it's like unlimited abilities and they're immortal and they can do anything they want. They have no strengths and weaknesses and well, that's great. What are we supposed to do with these? You can't do anything with these. It's not fun anymore. Give your character an ability or two. Give your character a specialty or two. Some people have things. Give them a talent if you want. But don't overdo it. And don't forget the little details in making them. Like allergies or habits and stuff. These things are often overlooked. Do the little details. Stop focusing on disorders and abilities because that's all your character is centered on. You need more than that if you want to have a real person. And that's a real creature on your hands, and that's kind of the best thing to have. Oh, look, this is the best part. Oh, it's getting worse as I go. I'm gonna end up crying by the end of this. I'm just gonna stop this here. This part was the design. Next, we'll be doing backstory and possibly rip off some relationships, depending how that goes. Then we'll end with OC versus canon, and proxies are probably going to get their own special little video. So bye guys, thanks for listening to my annoying voice that I'm making more annoying, I'm sorry. Bye.